If you're a hot, successful, bad bitch, most of our listeners are women, so I'm talking to women really quick. If you're a hot, successful, bad bitch, you are going to intimidate people. That's not on you. That's on them.
You're listening to The Pelvic Freak Show
with your hosts, Amanda Neary and Hannah Meyer. Hey, Pelvic Freaks. Welcome back to another episode of The Pelvic Freak Show.
Where you're freaks for us and we're freaks for your pelvis, baby.
Guys, we're getting juicy today.
We are, and this has been an episode we've been wanting to do for a while. As you guys know, Amanda and I recently made an episode on cheating. I forget the title of that episode.
It was So You Got Cheated On, Let's Talk About It.
So You Got Cheated On, Let's Talk About It. And we had a lot of you guys tune in on that one. On that episode, Amanda and I shared our own cheating stories. And if you want to hear those, go back and listen to that episode because we're not going to repeat them today because trauma. Just kidding. We worked through it.
We did, but
I did a whole stand-up set on it. It's fine.
It takes us a while to tell the stories, so we're not going to tell them again today because you guys sent us stories and they are juicy.
We are going to pay attention to the stories from you guys because we said we shared ours. Time for you to share yours. And you guys delivered. So we love to see that as your fellow pelvic freaks here. And when it comes to cheating, we said we wanted all of the cheating aspects. We said we don't care if you got cheated on, if you did the cheating, if your friend did it, if your husband's sister's boyfriend from Naperville cheated. I don't care. We wanted it all.
Love the Naperville plug.
I went to Naperville yesterday.
Incredible.
It was actually kind of nice.
Yeah, no, I disagree.
No, I'm a city girl. All right. But before we get into that, we have to address the elephant in the room here.
Mm-hmm.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Who we love Megan Thee Stallion. We consistently use her audio for Instagram posts when we're trying to be the baddies that we are to up our game. Honestly, I feel like her music is some music I listened to when I was going through my breakup after my cheating stuff to try to like step back into my baddie energy. Mm-hmm. So she helped me a lot when I was going through my stuff of just not trusting men and just honestly being pushed around by men.
Yeah. Can you explain to me what happened? Like I'm a toddler?
So I will explain to you what happened like you're a toddler.
Perfect.
We're filming this on Sunday, April 26th. So this episode comes out on Thursdays, as you know. Megan Thee Stallion yesterday put on her story, cheating had me around your whole family playing house. Got quote unquote cold feet, holding you down through all your all caps horrible mood swings and treatment towards me during your basketball season. Now you don't know if you can be quote unquote monogamous. Question. Bitch, I need a real break after this one. ... Bye, y'all.
Who's her boyfriend?
Klay Thompson.
Oh, she's dating Klay Thompson. Why am I stupid and I didn't know this?
Was dating Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson.
I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Klay Thompson, if you guys don't know, is an NBA player for some team in the NBA.
Yeah, I don't know who he plays for now.
Honestly, I don't know. I didn't know who he was, if I'm being honest, because I don't do that. Yeah. But my boyfriend knew who he was. He plays for the Dallas Mavericks. Ew. And I love you how you're just immediately like, no, boo. He could play for any team. And you'd be like, no, gross.
Literally.
He plays for the Chicago Bulls. Yuck.
Disgusting. He's not. Never mind. I won't comment on his looks for the sake of this, but she's out of his league.
Well, you're dating Megan Thee Stallion, dude.
No, literally. Step it up.
You're dating the girl of the girls.
Mm-hmm.
Like Megan and all the comments. I mean, we see this all the time, guys. We've talked about it all the time with like, I think we've talked about it on our cheating episode, if I'm being honest too, how you can be the baddest girl in the room. It does not matter because it's never about you.
It's never about you.
It's never about you. It's this guy has something going on. And I think when I told Austin, I said, oh my God, Megan got cheated on. He was like, oh yeah, Klay Thompson, didn't he cheat on like all his other girlfriends too? Which I didn't know. And who knows if that's real.
Probably is.
I didn't even know who this guy was.
Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Do you actually believe that?
No, I don't. I think there's different kinds of cheaters. I do think that we talked about this too. I do think there's cheaters that are always cheaters. And then I think there's people who make mistakes that are not cheaters, but they have cheated.
Yes. And there's something going, well, the people that are the cheaters, people that are cheaters at heart,
They get off on it.
you're going to cheat no matter what on any person that you're with.
Yeah.
That's something down rooted you got to work on. And I don't want to put you a part of that. You got to figure that out yourself.
Yeah.
Or you're just going to keep living like that. And there's people that have made it mistakes and they own up to it and they realize it and they know they're not that person and they figure out why that happened.
Yes.
So
Agree.
that's our opinion.
So Megan shared her story for us, and that sucks. It sucks to have someone pin that on not knowing if they can be monogamous anymore, because you know that person is not truly polyamorous for the right reasons, because they're not practicing it well if they actually are polyamorous. And that gives poly people a bad rap too, because that is a real relationship type that should have respect on its name, and you're using it as a scapegoat for your bad behavior in a relationship, and that's not what it is. Monogamy done poorly does not equal polyamory. They're two completely different things. So this guy is probably just a friggin' cheater.
That's a good quote.
Yeah.
I feel like, let's talk about this for a second, because I feel like we're all going to be analyzing how Meg responds to this. Because I think we're all expecting Meg to be like, I'm a bad bitch. You don't do that to me. I'm going to move on with my life and just like continue being a bad bitch. But like, that does not always happen. That's how I thought I was going to be. Like, no matter how confident I was in myself, like this stuff tears you down. And like, even just like her like quote, like holding you down through all your mood swings, that's just showing like some emotional trauma in that relationship that she was having to deal with. And so
good point.
I think no matter how she handles this, I think it's awesome that she literally just came out, threw that on her story, and then just like the post after that was about like NYC girlies like at a club. So I'm interested to see how she handles it. Either way, we're going to support Meg no matter what.
Totally. And that's a really good point, because I feel like social media takes the impact out of things so much, where people are like, oh my God, this happened to this person too, and they're being a bad bitch about it. Awesome. Love them for that. But she's probably struggling, right? Like that's
Who wouldn't be?
That's a real thing that's happening. That's so emotional when you're going through that. We know, you probably know, if you're listening to this episode, what that feels like. And it's horrible when you're in it.
Yeah.
It's really horrible.
Yeah, it is. It truly is. So either way, we wanted to bring the cheating episode this week because like obviously like we needed to talk about this, right?
Don't cheat on a bad bitch, because that's going to come back to bite you.
And we bite.
And we bite. All right, should we get into some stories?
Let's get into stories from our freaks now that we commented.
And guys, some of you tell stories really funny, and we're not laughing at what happened to you if you got cheated on your story, but some of these are hilarious, and we're just going to like, we're having girl talk. Okay.
We are.
Disclaimer.
And we're working on how we tell stories. I'm working on my storytelling techniques. So
listen, we'll have feedback on these stories, but we listen and we don't judge. If you shared an anonymous story about a time where you were not perfect, we still appreciate you submitting, because everyone makes mistakes and everyone's human. And if you're sharing a story about that, then we appreciate that too, because that's important for us to talk about.
okay.
All right. Story number 1. I cheated on my first boyfriend when I was 15. He liked me more than I liked him, and I was attention seeking at the time. I also felt rebellious by nature because of my religious upbringing, in parentheses, not an excuse. An older guy, much older, like statutory rape older, gave me that attention and ended up taking things too far. I broke up with my boyfriend after and never told him.
Okay. Thoughts on this?
Okay. First thought, I'm really sorry about the older guy, because that's not okay. And he took advantage of you. And regardless of your actions in your relationship, that shouldn't have happened to you. So I'm sorry that happened. My thoughts on the 15-year-old portion of it is that kids that young do not have the emotional intelligence. They literally don't. You develop that at an older age, in your 20s in college. They don't have the emotional bandwidth to understand the impact of what cheating does to another person. I honestly give it a pass in high school from a personal standpoint. Like when I'm dating someone now, if they say like, oh, I cheated on someone when I was 15, I'm like, yeah, whatever. I overlook it. It doesn't impact me in the way I move with them.
Yeah. Yeah. I say I would clock it, but then like see who they are as a person and move on.
Yeah.
You know? And I think it looks like you've kind of looked at why you did it and analyzed that.
Yeah. Self-aware.
I know you're saying not an excuse, but you don't have to say anything to us. Like we got you. Like
we got you.
Like you don't have to be afraid of saying not an excuse. Like we're going to be like, that's excuses. You did something wrong. You don't have to preface, but it seems like you've analyzed your behavior and then you've moved on. What do you think about the never told him part?
I mean, I think if they were still with him, it would be bad.
Yeah.
It would be bad.
What you did was you broke up with him.
You broke up with him instead. I would say work on your, if you haven't, I don't know how old you are now, but if you haven't worked on your confrontation skills, work on them because you want to be able to have those conversations. But you got away with it.
It seems like you ended the relationship anyways, and that's what you needed was to end the relationship. So either way, it worked out for what it needed to be.
And the reason I don't think this person's a cheater by nature is because of the he liked me more than I liked him. I think if it was like,
I forgot about that part.
I really loved them, but I just couldn't resist sleeping with other people, that might be a cheater. But this person, they probably just shouldn't have been in that relationship to begin with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing.
Thank you for sharing.
And being our first story to introduce this episode.
Short and sweet.
Okay. Let's see. Oh boy, I have so many where to.
Where to?
So at the very start of my relationship with my college ex, sophomore year, I found out he had been sleeping with another girl who was in a relationship. During our entire dating phase, I always had a gut feeling about her when she was around. But I found out because when I returned to campus after winter break, I asked him if I could use his laptop for something, and text from her popped up. Oh, that feeling's the worst. They were also quote unquote friends, so the text seemed normal, but I decided to look at their whole conversation and saw everything from the semester before when we were dating. The worst one was she sent a text earlier that fall saying she woke up with a tie print on her. Tie print? Like a print from his tie?
A tie print on her. I don't know.
Maybe he fell asleep on her and had a print on her skin from the tie.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting. And I remember what day that was from because he had come to my dorm that night with a tie drawn on his chest from some frat hazing thing.
That would be it. Like a tie marker rubbed off or something.
I got you. Yeah, we answered our own question.
We could have just kept reading.
So essentially, he saw us both that day.
Oh, sorry, live react.
Anyway, my self-worth was so low at that time, and I had already invested so much effort into wanting this guy to like me back that I looked past it. We ended up dating for 2 years, and he actually grew into a great partner, but eventually he gave me the ick when I thought back to our rocky foundation and I broke up with him. Now I give myself the ick thinking about what I used to put up with. Hopefully this helps someone in similar shoes. That's actually such a good outlook.
Yeah. What are our thoughts? Oh, that reaction of realizing you were seen the same day as someone else must have been awful.
Do you think she told him? Do we think it was addressed, or did she see the text and then store it away in the file box in the mind?
Oh,
we don't know.
We actually don't know.
If you were able to work up the courage to keep that to yourself, that's a baddie right there. Holy crap, I can't believe I would not be able to do that. But if you did it, I'm telling him, good. That's a good practice to have some tough conversations. So I'm glad you did.
Yeah. In reading it, I just assumed she would have, but that's a good point. We don't know.
Yeah. We don't know exactly.
We don't know.
But ended up dating him for what, 2 years later?
2 years later. But here's the part that giving yourself the ick, thinking about what you used to put up with, I can relate to that so hard.
Me too, dude.
I felt that at the end of my relationship that ended in cheating. I was giving myself the ick by the way he had treated me at the beginning of our relationship, and he wasn't even cheating at that time. And I'm like, it is so apparent that like, this is why people say once someone cheats, it's never going to be the same. Because unless you really address that, like if you brought it up with this guy and you guys worked through it, that's one thing. Or if you brought it up with this guy and you decided like, I'm just going to overlook it, like maybe that'll come back and get back to you and you'll start giving yourself the ick that you put up with that and accepted that level of like apology and excuse and ownership over it. That is such a relatable feeling. Such a relatable feeling.
That's such a relatable feeling. And what it took for me, because in the relationship, you're like, it took me so much to get this guy. I want to keep dating this guy. I actually really, really like him. He's like my main thing right now, right? It like alters your brain chemistry. You think you need this person. And then, in my opinion, when they do something like that, where they have their attention on some other person, it like fucks you up inside to a point to where you're like, am I not enough? And you're like, I want them to want me. You know, it's a weird feeling. It's like, what do I need to do? It messes with your brain. Because I stayed with my ex for a little bit after I found out he cheated the first time. And I remember constantly trying to say things in my head to make it okay that I'm staying with him. Yeah. And I was constantly trying to reassure myself that this is fine. It did not take me, it wasn't even me being single after that. I obviously healed and everything and found my worth. But when I found a relationship where I was like, oh, this is what it's like when people respect you, that's when I was like finally embarrassed about how I handled it, because I was like, oh, it can be like this. This is what it's supposed to be like. And people are actually capable of communicating and treating me well. And I was dealing with that. That's when I finally got the ick from it, from myself.
I will say this person probably had an ick enough to break up with it, but yeah, that real ick of like, I will never accept that in my life again. For me, it wasn't being treated better. It was just like being alone long enough. Again, like I said, like I was alone long enough, or like I'm treating myself so much better that like I would not let my life be that again, or like be that girl that's crying over some dude's shitty behavior again. Like that'll never be me.
That's such a good point.
And that just gives me the ick to think about.
Yeah.
And, it's so free when you're out of that.
So it's so different. Free. And it might hit you in levels too.
Totally.
Like it hit you at that point, and then you're going to be in a good relationship eventually, and it's going to hit you again. Like, why did I deal with that?
Can I tell you really quick sidebar? The level I'm at right now is so advanced from my breakup from 2023, 2024, that sometimes I miss my ex that cheated on me in a non-romantic way.
Whoa.
I would never ever be attracted to him, touch him with a 10-foot pole, whatever. But I'm like, sometimes I miss the friendship we had.
Crazy.
And I feel like it's almost like evolved to the next level of like, yeah, there were things that you were like, you had good qualities too. Like I've healed. I'm like, I don't even think about.
You've surpassed it.
I've surpassed it. I'm above it.
I get that.
It doesn't affect me anymore, to the point where I'm like, yeah, I miss this about you. It's very interesting.
You're so
feeling.
far above mentally that if you were to interact, it wouldn't be that big of a deal for you.
Totally.
Yeah.
I really don't think it would be.
That's good.
Yeah. It's so interesting.
That is really good.
I felt that like maybe a couple months ago, and I was like, that's so weird. Never once thought I would ever think that.
That's cool.
Anyway. Okay. Next story. Number 3. Sorry. Okay. I'm emotionally cheating with a married person right now. I've always been adamant that I would never be the other woman, and I don't know how this happened, but I'll just say I have a lot more sympathy for people who have developed a connection with a married person before. At the end of the day, it's on the person who's disrespecting the boundaries of their relationship, speaking as someone who's been cheated on before and have always felt that way. Agree with the last part for sure. We talk about that.
At the end of the day, it's on the person who's disrespecting the boundaries of their relationship. Speaking as someone who's been cheated on before and have always felt that way. Yes.
This reminds me of like Ariana Grande and the talk we had around that smear campaign. You know, one of the many smear campaigns.
I'm like, which one? Hold on.
Yeah. Is it like not ideal? Yeah. But why are we talking about her when we should be really talking about him? And he was the one in the relationship.
He's making himself available.
He's making himself available.
And if you're not going to be emotionally cheating with someone who's married if they're not on some level giving you the idea that they're interested in you.
Also, like,
I can see a married guy and be like, they're hot. I can see a married girl and be like, she's hot, and then move on.
yeah,
But I'm not going to develop like this connection with them unless they open that door.
that's a really good point. And exactly, I was going to make a similar point. Like, they are probably lying to you in some capacity, right? Whether it's like, oh, like me and my wife are struggling. Well, I don't know what this person's gender is. Maybe it's a gay relationship too. Me and my partner are struggling. We don't communicate well. We're thinking about getting divorced. Like, we don't know if that's what's being said or if this person is just blatantly like, I want to cheat on my partner and I find you attractive. But something about that invited the connection, and you're right. Because, like, yes, there's probably people that go out of their way to fuck married people that are like, I want to go for a married guy tonight. That's fun for me.
That definitely exists.
That definitely exists. That's toxic. No one submitting right here is going to be that person. Right? I mean, maybe they are, but like, even to call it emotionally cheating has some level of like understanding of what the levels of cheating are. And that toxic person probably doesn't have that understanding. That's my 2 cents on it.
I mean, even me and Amanda both, when we got cheated on, we had to reach out to the other girl, and neither of us were like, "You, oh my god, whatever."
Never.
Like, we were not doing that at all. We were like, "Listen, I just need info. Give me the details so I can get out of this relationship. Like,
Literally.
I just need the receipts, and it's not on you. I know it's all on him."
Yeah.
And that's how we handled that.
The girl and I, like, we were like, we hope you have a nice life. You seem really cool.
Although I will say the first girl I had to text, which sucks that I have to say that again, I give myself the ick too, was pretty much like, yeah, like, we flirt all the time at work and I wouldn't trust him. And she knew about me too. And
Right.
that does suck.
Yeah.
But I still wasn't mad about it.
It's
I
probably
still
not a
wasn't
good
mad about
feeling. And you could be mad at that person, but like the onus is still on the partner. Right. I think it's that like feeling of onus.
it. Yeah.
So, and honestly, like, we all know what it's like to have a crush on someone. And if that person's giving you feedback that they also have a crush on you, yeah, that's hard to deal with emotionally.
really hard.
That's hard. So,
You have to analyze your own morals.
analyze it. And what's it worth to you to like be in this situation? Is it like a fun thing for you, or are you thinking this person's going to leave their partner? Because that's probably not going to happen in most cases. So keep that in mind. All right. You want to do the next one?
Let's do it. Okay, so my cheating story. I was in a serious relationship with this guy. Obviously mistake, but we'll get there. All right, I already like the foreshadowing. There were red flags immediately. Like, 4th time we ever hung out, I get out of the shower and he casually admits he went through my phone. Not even caught, confessed. Just volunteered that information like it was a fun fact. And instead of running, I was like, huh? Okay, anyway, just moved on. 5 months in, he moves into my apartment because why not escalate a bad decision?
Love the commentary.
And then comes the rules. Suddenly, we're in this weird, unofficial contract that I never agreed to. Everything was controlled. Everything was monitored. Everything somehow became my fault. I have to unfollow and blackmail friends that I have had for years. And on top of that, this man contributed absolutely nothing to the household. Dishes, me. Trash, me. Laundry, me. If I asked for help, it turned into a guilt trip. Like I was asking him to donate a kidney instead of, I don't know, take out the garbage.
Oof.
Yeah. So we're living together for about a year at this point. He's a personal trainer, trains this women's soccer team. There's one girl in particular he also trains one-on-one. They get friendly. She invites us to parties at her house, talks about doing girls' nights and including me, like very much presenting herself as my new best friend. I don't like where this is going. Then she moves to Utah. Whatever. Again, okay, I didn't expect that. Again, even though this man was walking red flag, I really did somehow believe that they were just friends and that he was her trainer. But I was a little happy for the distance. Yeah, it probably was like a breath of fresh air. Like you have your suspicions up.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, thank God she's moving, which is such a bad sign.
Yep.
Except not really. because somehow, coincidentally, magically, every time I leave town, she's back in Chicago.
Oof. This is oof after oof.
First time I'm visiting my family. Oh, she's in town that exact weekend and wants to do a training session. Cute. Makes sense to me. Second time, I'm going to LA to visit a friend. And wow, would you look at that? She's in town again. Same weekend. Again. And this time, they're going to go out for some drinks together. At this point, I'm like, I may not be a detective, but I'm also not an idiot. In my opinion, sidebar, and every single woman is a detective.
Yeah, that's actually a good point.
Literally, we become the best detectives on the planet once we get suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing. We've had been to her parties. I'd seen her life. She had plenty of friends. So why, during her very limited 2-day visits to Chicago, was she choosing to spend that time with my boyfriend? So I call him out and we're fighting the entire weekend, just going at it. And then the day after their little hangout, I come home and he is acting bizarre, like overly excited, can't wait to see me, all over me, just aggressive enthusiasm, which was not his usual brand. Yeah,
Oof.
that's a big teller. Something felt off immediately. Yeah, when people feel guilty, they overcompensate.
Totally.
The night is weird. The energy is weird. I go to wash my face before bed and out of nowhere, completely unprompted, he goes, "Oh, by the way, I washed the sheets." You what? This man who has never washed a dish, never touched the piece of laundry, has a moral opposition to household chores, suddenly woke up and thought, you know what I'm going to do today? Just the sheets. Not the pillowcases, not the comforter, not literally anything else, just the sheets. And that exact moment I knew, like crystal clear, no investigation needed, no proof required. My soul was like, yeah, that man cheated on you in your own bed and is now trying to run a very specific, very targeted laundry cycle to cover it up. Of course, he never admitted, not once, denied everything, but I didn't need a confession because men who don't do laundry don't suddenly start with just the sheets.
A really good storyteller again.
Wait, that gave me chills.
Yeah, literally.
Wait, the ending sentence gave me chills.
Because men who don't do laundry, ... don't suddenly start with just the sheets.
I truly hope this was therapeutic for you, and I hope this is about to be therapeutic for you because we are going to give you reassurance that you do not need that man.
You do not know. And you already know that. Like the fact that you left without any confirmation is so bad bitch of you. But also, you already know you don't need this man. You know, because you wrote this story.
Let's talk about how hard that is, though, when you don't have the confirmation, though. That is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe in the moment, I'm not saying this happened to this person. Maybe in the moment you feel like, okay, I'm done. But like weeks later, you're like, what if I'm wrong? What if you always get that like kind of like it creeps back in.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this didn't happen to this person, but it is hard to just bounce with no evidence sometimes.
100%. I knew in my gut.
This is evidence, but you know what I mean.
Right. And like, I knew in my gut that things were happening, but I never got the confirmation that my ex had ever physically cheated on me. Mm-hmm. And I know that he did in my gut. Mm-hmm. Or at least he was trying to. He was actively trying to when he was out with his friends.
Yeah.
But that feeling of like, would he actually cross that line? Would he blah, 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 blah. You psych yourself out of it. You convince yourself that they're not this person that you know they are.
Yeah.
So the fact that this person was like, oh, he washed the sheets, I'm fucking out of here. Bad bitch.
For real.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see that conversation. Be like,
Literally.
no. I wonder if she called him out. Like,
oh my gosh. The total behavior switch is for sure like a telltale sign. They tell on themselves.
it is. They really do, dude.
They really do. This is another like gut sinking one. Like when I went like, oof, like when I was living with my ex, like, yeah, some of those things that you don't get when you're not living with someone. And then like that switch when you move in together, that's such a shitty feeling, especially because like
the switch.
You signed a lease. You this was a big step for you. Like you don't live with just anyone. Like that's your home. And in your home, you're now this villain. You're the person that you're like the fault person for anything that goes wrong. You can't be at peace in your own space anymore. That affects you.
Dude, yeah. Yeah, it's so real when you move into someone, the true signs come out. Did I ever tell you when I moved in with my ex what happened on the day I moved in with him?
You did, but I forgot actually.
My car got totaled. On my way, I had just turned in my keys at my apartment. I was driving. This is like the easiest drive. It's from like Streeterville to West Loop. I was moving. Mm-hmm. I don't even go on the interstate or the highway. Like literally just 8 minutes?
Yeah.
Someone hits me and totals my car.
Yeah.
On my way to get my new apartment keys.
I'm so curious about it because like, yes, that's obviously a sign, but if you didn't do that, you wouldn't be where you are today. Mm-hmm. So was it just a warning? Like, it's going to be rough for a little while, Toots?
Yeah, dude. Hey, girl, like, yikes.
Sorry about what happens next.
The first night that we lived together, he cheats on me for the first time, suspectedly. It's not fully confirmed, but it is confirmed.
But I do remember.
Similar to this.
Yeah, I do remember that story. And he probably did.
Well, anyways, all of this is so real, and this needed to be said. So I'm so happy that you submitted this question.
And I'm really sorry about the manipulation you went through when you lived together, because that sucks.
Yeah, and we've been there, so I hope you learned from it, and it seems like you did.
All right. Ready?
All right.
Next one. Not my story to tell, but I live in a small town, so for that reason, anonymous. Family friends of mine, but this family from my town, let's call them the Smiths. Wait. No, that is how that reads. Okay. Let's call them the Smiths. The wife is Emma. I'm guessing these are fake names.
These are fake names, I'm assuming.
Because they're in stars. The wife is Emma. Husband is Brad. It was Christmas morning and Emma was taking pictures of Brad with their daughters in front of the tree when on Brad's phone, the message, "Merry Christmas, babe," popped up on his phone she was taking pictures with. The message was from their neighbor who lived across the street.
Shut up.
Also married with kids. And the two have been sneaking out having this affair for over a year. So gross. The couple broke up, which is obviously terrible, but the wife found love again and is getting married this year, and we are so happy for her, and she deserves all the happiness in the world for having the restraint of an angel and not stoning him with coal that Christmas. Oh, Merry fucking Christmas.
I'm imagining like the girl across the street, we'll call her Barbara, across the street, like looking out of her like velvet curtains and being like, and there's like snow on the fall, and just being like, I wonder if he got my message.
Yo.
Just like across the street neighbors.
Across the street neighbors.
Dude, it would take so much in me not to wreck that house.
Yeah. Unless I thought the person was hot and then we made it just like a polycule kind of thing.
Exactly. You know, there's always that option. Except, you know, when you have kids, you can't really be like doing stuff, right?
That's tough.
You got to be careful when there's kids. When it's just you can go egg that house.
True.
Who gives a shit?
You can egg that house.
You have
but you have to then turn around and be like, and pretend you're excited to watch your kids open presents. Mm-hmm. And you just got your world flipped upside down. Like, what a sinking feeling. That fucking sucks so much.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
When you have kids, you have to be stronger.
It's not about you. It's not about you or how happy you are. And like, you have to put on this brave face, especially on a holiday that's like literally such a joyful day for kids.
Yeah. And the quote of, "We're so happy for her. She deserves all the happiness in the world." Yes, she does. And for having the restraint of an angel and not stoning him with coal that Christmas.
Yeah.
Honey, she's not going to see her kids if she stones him with coal.
Yeah.
She probably wanted to stone him with that coal.
Probably.
And we all wish she would have, but you know, then there's the kids.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Even like, and on a much lesser scale, I don't have kids. I had a cat. And when I moved out of my ex's place, I was scared that he was going to somehow try to take my cat if I was an asshole to him in the moment. Like, there was a fear in me. And I was like, he could retaliate in XYZ ways if I respond the way that like in my gut, I want to respond to this.
Yeah.
And just like, you feel that for other people. And when people have kids, I am just always like, I'm so sorry. Because
you need a PR team.
You need a freaking PR team.
You need a PR team if you get cheated on by your man and you have kids. Because you got to handle this situation the best way you can so you can get those kids.
Literally.
Because it's literally an art form. You cannot let your emotions win in that moment.
No, you can't.
Because of what's going to happen. You get divorced. Like, what are you going to do? But then you're trying to battle with your emotion. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Wow. Thanks for sharing this story, because that's another clear example. I'm happy Emma found happiness and Brad can piss off.
Brad's getting coal.
Brad's getting coal forever
and ever. Moving on. All right, guys, you ready for this one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you for the comment. I was going to pretend no one said anything, but
So
I needed
true.
that. I needed that to
Yeah,
amp me up. We got another long one. Here we go. I found out my boyfriend / father of my kids was sleeping with my best friend of 10 years.
Woof.
I got to read that again. I found
Yeah.
out my boyfriend / father of kids was sleeping with my best friend of 10 years.
Yeah. This is going to be juicy.
I found out after I had been venting to my friend about some issues in our relationship. He suddenly seemed to know everything I had been talking about to her, but it didn't click at first that she was going behind my back. He was a little crazy, so I assumed he had a recording device hidden somewhere in our apartment, and I mentioned that to her one day. Then a week or so later, he randomly comes to me and tells me he had been recording my conversations. Is this guy a fucking idiot?
Like, fucking
I mean, I know
idiot.
he is, but like, is he?
Yeah.
At that point, I started to get suspicious. I decided to test out a couple theories, and I had told my two best friends each a different lie. I told one that my IUD came out on its own, and I was worried about getting pregnant, and I told the other one something else. A couple days later, after sex, we always becoming detectives, dude.
Mm-hmm.
A couple days later after sex, he tells me he couldn't feel my IUD anymore and asked if I had taken it out to try and get pregnant again.
Oh, my God.
Sorry, this guy's such an idiot.
Such an idiot.
Can't feel your ID. Sorry. Can't feel your IUD.
Yeah.
Dude, you weren't feeling that anyways.
No.
You're dumb.
Not in any world.
I told him no, it was definitely still in there, but he swore he couldn't feel it. In that moment, I knew she was going behind my back, but I didn't say anything. I let my inner CIA side come out. That's when I turned tracking location on his phone, and I started documenting everything, all the late night visits to her house. So wait, that's when I turned tracking location on. Oh, she went in and turned tracking location on his phone.
On his phone.
Got you. And I started documenting everything, all the late night visits to her house when he was supposed to be working overtime. The classic. Can you get more creative? Like, for real. At this point, I started popping up and taking pictures of his car outside of her house. And when I finally confronted him about it, he denied it, saying nothing was going on. He was just helping her out because she was a single mom to a special needs child. Well, I kept my guard up and continued to gather evidence, and I got a job and saved money so I could leave. About a year later, she pissed him off and he confessed everything to me. They had been sleeping together for over 2 years, and she had been trying to convince him to leave me and telling him how much better she could be for him. At the end of the day, he lost me and he lost her, and still 8 years later, he is alone.
Wow. Okay. I modify my previous statement. It's always on the partner unless the other person is friends with you.
That is so true.
I do think it's still on the partner ultimately, but yeah, fuck that friend. That's not
because
your friend.
your friend has responsibilities
Your
too.
friend has absolutely owes you something and has responsibility. And I'm thinking of like Sierra and Amanda from Summer House, like the classic thing that's like all over Instagram right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course she owed her something. That's her best friend. Mm-hmm. That fucking sucks. That you should never be doing that.
Yeah.
So that sucks a lot that this friend of hers was doing that behind her back.
The weird thing is she confronted him about helping. He said, I was helping her out because she's a single mom to a special needs child. Then why do you got to lie about that?
And he denied it, saying nothing. Why would he be doing that?
Why would he be doing that? And then why wouldn't you just say, hey babe, you know,
you caught me.
Your best friend needs some help. Like, what do you mean? Like,
Right.
That's such a dumb excuse. Reminds me of excuses that I believe too. So I get it.
They'll try anything. But she knew right away. She was like, I know what's going on. So I'm in the Facebook group, Are We Dating the Same Guy Chicago? And I hate to say it, friends, it's mostly for entertainment. But it's also like when you are dating and, you know, there's men in your dating pool, it's nice to like see a face pop up and you're like, okay, avoid that person at all costs. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times when people post in there and they're like, I found out my man's cheating on me, we have a child together, in the comments there's always someone giving advice like, don't let him know you know, save up money behind his back so you can leave, be prepared for lawsuits with the custody. Like people giving really good advice about leaving with kids.
The PR team you need.
Yeah, the PR team. And this is what, you know, this person says that they did. They kept their guard up, continued to gather evidence. Get that evidence, like gather that if you need to.
Good.
If you're with a shady person who's willing to lie to you, like you can play that game.
Yeah, for real.
That sucks.
That sucks. And what a shitty friend.
And it sucks to lose like the person you think you can love and trust more than anyone, and then the second person you think you can trust more than anyone. To call someone your best friend, that just really fucking sucks to lose that person too.
That's terrible.
Dang.
Well, sleeping together for over 2 years, dude.
Yeah, tough.
And I want to say something else about the lies that people come up with when you confront them, because they have to think about it on the spot, and it's always some stupid lie.
Yeah.
Like, that is so stupid. What do you mean you were going to see my best friend to help her and then not telling me about it? Like, and she's never told me about that. Mm-hmm. She's never going to say, oh, Gerald just left. Thanks for having him help out. No, that's so weird. That's sketchy. But when you're in the moment and you're not knowing of it, or you're wanting to believe that it's not real,
mm-hmm.
then your brain will also try to make sense of that lie and be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then you look back on it and you realize how dumb that lie was.
Literally. Mm-hmm. Literally. When you're in the clear and you're at peace again.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
All right. Should we get to the last one?
Okay, we have one more.
One more. These are so good. Thank you guys for submitting these. Okay, this is Mary Kate, friend of the show.
Hello.
I have no problem not being anonymous, because if they didn't want me to talk about them, they shouldn't have done the bad thing. Period. Love you, girl. You're her friend, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking. I was like, how do we know Mary Kate again? I remember that name.
Mary Kate is a pelvic freak submitter.
Perfect.
Of things. We love it.
Love that. All right, not a super juicy story here, but one time I dated this guy in high school to get over my toxic ex. Classic. He was smart, really nerdy, funny, and sweet. Definitely not the cutest when we started dating. And naturally, as we dated, he glowed up.
That's how it happens.
He got on Accutane, gained major confidence, and was kind of a stud all of a sudden.
Okay,
That's hilarious. Accutane. Long story short, my toxic ex started texting, asking me if I was still with my guy at the time. When I responded yes, he laughed and said, well, it didn't seem like it last night, referring to a party my guy went to without me. I wasn't fazed at all, because there was no way my serial cheater ex-boyfriend was telling the truth about my nerdy boyfriend cheating on me. Me, the girl who made him hot. Cue Sabrina Carpenter. Well, lo and behold, he wasn't lying, and that guy cheated on me with a girl with the same name as me. I mean, how kind of impressive with how ruthless that is. Truly, it was so diabolical, because it's even the nice guys we can't trust. Insane. Anyways, never trust a guy with a C name, as they are all villains. Obsessed with the ending.
A guy with a C name is so real. That's so real.
This is actually really true too. We're getting so many lessons. All of these stories are so different, mm-hmm. and we're getting a new lesson in each one. I love the memes that are like, yeah, the ugly ones cheat on you too, so I might as well get a hot rich one. The ugly poor ones cheat on you too.
The ugly poor ones cheat on you too, dude.
Yeah, you should never date someone for their assets.
This was
unless they're hot and rich.
This was what my stand-up comedy set was on.
Literally.
I was like, I tricked myself into liking ugly dudes.
Literally.
And those are the ones that cheat on you.
Because why? Their ego is bruised.
They have something they need to work on.
And here's the other thing.
Amanda just shut the laptop.
I shut the laptop. If you're a hot, successful, bad bitch, most of our listeners are women, so I'm talking to women really quick. If you're a hot, successful, bad bitch, you are going to intimidate people. That's not on you. That's on them. They are intimidated. They are insecure. They are selfless. This is the main thing I look for when I date partners now, because it tells me what they can and can't handle. The only times I've been cheated to, lied to, treated poorly are by people that either felt like I was out succeeding them in life, they were jealous of me in some way, and they couldn't handle that. It bruised their ego, it made them insecure, and they felt like they had to retaliate in some way. Even if it's on a subconscious level, if you're noticing those patterns in people, they need to work on that. And it's the same thing as a drug addict. Like, you're never going to convince them to change. They have to want to do that work for themselves. So set yourself free if you can, because it's so much better over here.
For real.
Yeah.
We learned
and then
so
you
many
can
good
find
lessons.
someone that they feel like a breath of fresh air.
They do.
They really should. They really should.
Like
Yeah.
like a
flat white.
like a rose in a sea of thorns.
Like a rose in a sea of thorns. I don't know why I did that.
It's okay.
It's okay. I'm losing my mind.
Those were some good, juicy stories, pelvic freaks. Thank you for hard launching all of that.
Thank you for hard launching all of that. Cheaters and cheaties alike. Like, we got so many good lessons out of this episode, and I think the freaks are going to like this story time.
Right.
Guys, this is our first story time of 2026.
It took us a while.
It took us a minute to get back in our groove.
It did. We were doing more Q&As because that's what we were getting more of, but we haven't been prompting you guys for story times. The reason we like story times is because we're talking about education. We're talking about pelvic floor education, whatever. We need to give real life examples, right? Cheating and things like that can affect your sex life, affect your pelvic floor, affect your mental health. We got to check on all of that, okay?
Love that.
So that's why we like the stories.
Everything is pelvic health.
If you guys have an idea of what you want our next story time to be, or you just have a story that you're itching for us to read, submit it.
Yes. And if you have an idea for a story time, please help us, because we want to make sure you guys want to listen to them.
Yeah. So we'll game plan next story time. We'll make sure we don't go too far without you guys getting another story time, because we know you love them.
All right, guys, if you liked this episode, please leave us 5 stars and send it to a friend. It helps with outreach so much.
And as you know, if you survived a cheating situation, or maybe you cheated and you realized what you did was wrong and then you came to terms with it and you were a new person and changed, or maybe you realize you're polyamorous right now, any of those things, you are now a pelvic freak, okay? So go get your pelvic freak tank so that you can go support that you are a pelvic freak.
That was so good. I honestly
it?
didn't know where you were going with that.
Our little sexy little pelvic freak tank is so cute.
It's so cute.
And if you want your nips out,
wear it.
Yeah, if you want your nips out, get the white one.
Your nips
will be seen.
My nips are out right now.
And you can send us a picture of it, and we'll put little hearts over your nips so that it doesn't get seen on Instagram and get censored. But the black tank is also equally as good, and I go braless with it all the time.
Yeah, I be braless with both, and if I'm feeling modest, I'll throw the black one on. Yeehaw. All right, bye, pelvic freaks.
Bye, pelvic freaks.
I'm going to stop saying yeehaw.
You can say it still.
Okay.
Unless the pelvic freaks hate it, then you have to stop.
Yeah, perfect.
Let us know if you hate it, guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.